guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be telling my story of being a teen mum and how we hid it for 4 months. So before I get into it, I'm going to just do a little disclaimer type thing. I love my family and friends dearly, but if I say anything that offends you or upsets you or anything like that and isn't how it was, please don't get offended. This is just how it felt for me. So yeah, through my eyes and how I felt. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I met Bill when I was 14, and so we were together for a little while, and then when I was 15 I fell pregnant. So we took the test together, and yeah, obviously it was positive, and we kept it to ourselves for a little while. And then I think I eventually told my best friend Lauren, and we asked her to keep it under wraps, which looking back now, I sort of feel bad asking her to keep such big news to herself. That would have been terribly hard to do, I would imagine, and probably a little bit unfair of me to ask her to do that, but that's what we felt we needed to do at the time. So yeah, we kept it a secret for a little while longer. Yeah, so just went about our lives as nothing were going on. Then around 16 weeks, my mum and my sister started to get a little bit suspicious. I don't know if they knew beforehand or not, but they didn't say anything until I was 16 weeks anyway. So my mum asked my sister to get a pregnancy test, and they gave that to me, and my mum said, "Do you need to use this?" And I said, "No, I've already taken one and I'm pregnant." So I was terrified of what my parents were going to say. Obviously they would have been a bit disappointed in me, but they were really supportive, which was amazing. It was great having supportive parents. So yeah, I know a couple of other family members wanted to kill Bill. He was a little bit older than me, but once the initial shock wore off, everyone else was fairly supportive as well. Then I don't know how everyone found out. I guess it just sort of small towns, word of mouth, but people, once they found out that I was keeping the baby, they didn't say much to me. I didn't cop a lot of flack or anything about it, but I know that my mum was told stuff like, "Why are you letting her keep it? You should be making her get an abortion. Why are you letting Bill stay around?" And all that sort of stuff. There were rumours that Bill had left me and the baby because he was doing interstate truck driving, and obviously to get us ahead with money. And yeah, so being a small town, people go, "Oh, he's up and left her," which was not the case at all. We were together the whole pregnancy. Yeah. So I think what may have given it away to my mum that I was pregnant was I could not stand the smell of seafood, and she used to make this delicious tuna mornay, which I used to love, and that was the only thing I couldn't stand was seafood, so it made me feel sick. Other than that, I wasn't sick, nothing. So maybe that's what gave it away. I don't know, maybe my mood swings too, who knows. I've never actually asked. I probably should ask. So yeah, so as I said, people started to stick their noses in where it wasn't needed, and they got people involved. And so we had someone come around and basically question us, making sure that nothing bad was going on, that my parents were supportive of it and all of that. So, and that was all okay, nothing ever came to that, which was we're grateful for, because nothing bad had happened. It was just what had happened. So yeah, we told, obviously I was at school at the time, so we had to tell my school, and they were also fine with it, like obviously not fine, but you know, they still welcome me to come to school. And so I finished school there. Finished school, I played like soccer the whole way through my pregnancy. Everything was fine, and then so when I had her at the Women's and Children's Hospital, and the staff there were like lovely. They see a lot of teen mums go through, they were telling me, so it was nothing new to them, so they weren't judgmental or anything, and all the ones I had were lovely towards me. They may have treated me a little different, I think, like, because I've obviously had 4 kids since. Do see, like, going back now, they did treat me a little bit different because I was so young, but they weren't like horrible or anything. And even when I had her, all my midwives that I had were lovely and great like towards me. So I had my mum and Bill in with me when I had her. All went well. I had a natural birth. I think I only had gas with her, and it was a pretty short labour. Actually, going back, at my 20-week scan, we did actually find out that she had something wrong with her lungs. So that was kind of stressful throughout the whole pregnancy. So the rest of the pregnancy was kind of a little bit stressful. So when I had her, we got brought on early. And so when she was born, everything was all okay. Like, we had heaps of like breathing, what did we have? Heaps of equipment in case she wasn't breathing, because it was to do with her lungs, but she came out screaming and she was completely fine, which we were so thankful for as well. So after she was born, I was meant to go back to school. So my old school had shut down between having her and the next school year, so I went to a different school, and I went there for a couple of weeks, and it just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave my baby. I had always wanted to be a mum from, heck, since I was little, and I just knew I was going to be a mum, and so I couldn't leave her. It just didn't feel right, even though I knew she was in safe hands with my mum. Yeah, I just missed her too much and couldn't do it. So I ended up giving that up and doing open access, which is like schooling over the phone. And I did that for a little while, but it was just really difficult and distracting having a baby there while I was doing it, and it just still didn't feel right. So I never did year 11 and 12, but I did finish year 10, which was great. And for the couple of months, I think it was, that I was doing open access, I actually met another young mum that happened to live like 15 minutes away from me, which was awesome. So we connected and became great friends. So that was really lovely, having someone else that was also a teen mum, and going through the same journey with me at the same time, because our babies were very similar in age. All my other friends that I had before I fell pregnant were obviously still around and really supportive as well. They all loved love Caitlin, and yeah, they were still around obviously. But I think I distanced myself from them because I didn't mean to, but I guess having a baby, our lives were completely different. Like, they were still at school, still doing all their normal things, and I was there raising a baby. So we were on completely different tracks from there on in, and like, we still seen each other, but it was, yeah, like, I was probably in my own little bubble, like own little world as well, I guess, and everything was about Caitlin at the time. So they still, like, I still see all my friends, and they all like love our kids, which is great. That's pretty much our story. It was difficult being a teen mum, with all the judgment and stigma that comes around being a teen mum. Like, people treat you differently. And I've met a few people, like even now, that don't like teen mums. Like, I guess there is that stigma. But yeah, there's that stigma about being a teen mum. So even still to this day, like obviously I've got 5 kids now, and I still feel anxious telling people how old my daughter is, and then they put 2 and 2 together and like figure out that I was a teen mum, because you never, like, I never know how they're going to react. I've had some reactions where they weren't so great, and so obviously we didn't click and become friends, but then other people, like most people, are really great about it and don't mind, and tell me how like I've done such a wonderful job being a teen mum and raising my kids, which is always lovely to hear. Yeah, that is pretty much my story. If I've left anything out and you're still curious about some things, definitely leave them in the comments below or contact me on Instagram. We have an Instagram account, Living with the Dixons, and I quite often update on there as well, so definitely let me know if you have any questions or anything. I would be happy to answer them. So if you would like to see more of our like stories and our everyday life, please subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications, give this video a like, comment below if you wish to as well. That all helps us out, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!